Hello everybody. I'm about to do part 2 to the Watercolor Batik project that I started the other day. So this is part 2. And this was the design that I chose. In the previous video when I was filming, it was upside down to you. So this time I made sure everything was right side up. And also I wanted to mention that I talked about waterproof pencil in the last one, and I actually meant pen. And this is what it looks like. It's a micro line pen, or I do have a supply list that I could attach to, that I will attach to this video. But it's a very fine tip, as you can see. And I use either black or I use sepia when I'm outlining the design for my artwork. So that's kind of what it is. So it's a pen, it's a waterproof pen, whatever brand you find should work, as long as it is waterproof. So today we're ready to wax in the white areas, because we're gonna reserve the areas that are white this time with the hot wax, so that whenever we paint over that, the white will be reserved. So I wanted to talk about, I have dedicated brushes for waxing, and I use a lot of the very fine tip, but these are just craft brushes. They do not have to be expensive watercolor brushes, and this covers a bigger area at the end. So these two are rounds. This is a flat, and this is a 1 inch, or you could even get bigger. So it's up to you, but they are dedicated to the waxing, because you cannot, once they're in the wax, they're always in the wax. You can't use them for anything else. So I'll do that. We'll put that over there. So I've got the wax, hot wax, and what I usually do is I dab my brush onto a paper towel, because when you dip your brush in the wax, if you go right to your paper, you're gonna have a big blob of wax that's gonna spread. So you don't want that, and you wanna cover whatever areas that are on the way from the wax to the area you're painting, so that you protect it. Here we go. So I've got the wax. This area right here on the seal is very, very light, so I'm gonna reserve that. And you never wanna go out to the line, because the wax will spread just as the watercolor will spread, because this paper is very thin and everything spreads. So I'm just picking out some of the very light areas of this design, the seals. So that they are reserved. And I'm not doing the highlights solid. I'm leaving spaces in between the wax, so that it doesn't look like one solid area. And as far as the whiskers on the seal, we will do those when we're all done with fine paintbrush with opaque white, because we cannot get fine lines with wax. There's no way. So let's see, where else here? There's a little bit here. Some of these down here are light, but they're not really white, so I'm gonna leave those for another layer. I think that's all I want to do for the bright white on my, yeah, because this is also up here is not quite white. So I think we're done with the first wax, and this dries pretty quickly. I mean, you could paint on this now if you wanted to, the first layer of watercolor. But what I'm going to show you quick is that when you can't tell what you've waxed, you have like a piece of black construction paper or thin black cardboard, and you can slide it underneath so that you can tell what you've waxed. So you can see here some of the dots of wax that I've done, and it's a great tool so that you can tell what you've already done, because if you look at it this way, you cannot tell what areas you've waxed at this point. So I think that's going to do it for the clip for today.